Hello, Julia.
After Hours?
Yes.
Thursday edition with Jeff and Julia.
On KSN Plus and Facebook and YouTube and where else?
The Roku app,
and the Roku.
Apple TV, Fire TV.
So that's KSN Plus.
Yes.
And we urge you to download that if you get a chance, because you can find this podcast and all the unique programming that we provide on our streaming platform, plus newscasts, plus replays, and all that good stuff. Today is a big day, Julia, because
across the state.
Back to school.
Yes. The school's largest district, 259, went back today. So that's Wichita Public Schools. And then, of course, several surrounding districts across the state. Doesn't it take you back?
It does. It does take me back.
Did you like?
I miss it.
I will say I went to the store today and I loved how empty it was.
Yeah, and the gym is empty.
Isn't that the best?
And what else is empty? Roller the skating rinks are empty. I was there today.
Oh, I bet you were. The bowling alley?
I was able to just backward skate with
Wow.
no worries.
I do believe that.
No, don't believe that. Yeah, it does take me back. I really enjoyed school when I was growing up in Hayesville, Kansas, a small town, and I enjoyed getting back to school and seeing all of your friends that maybe you didn't see. But it was a small town, so really they weren't that far away.
So really
in the
you saw
summer.
them every day?
Well, you didn't, but you didn't really make an effort to see him because you're a child. And you can't. You're not just gonna. I'm gonna go see Adam.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, you're not. He's across the tracks, and you're 6.
We did hang out with all the neighborhood kids during the summer, and we had chalk and bikes.
Well, neighborhood, yes, but school. There's all of those other kids, you know, and then when you go, and then you go to junior high. We called it junior high, and now it's middle school. But then you'd meet all the kids that you never saw that were at the other elementary schools.
Yeah,
and
the rivals.
You had to meet them, and it's like, who's their athlete? You know, who's their person?
Did you like the smell of the books?
That's weird. No,
I loved the smell of new school supplies. Let me know if you also did.
I don't sniff anything. That's not.
I loved it.
Really?
Those were the things. And walking into the building and it smelled new. I'm serious. I loved the smells.
The only smell I can remember at school was the smell of like cleaning solution, sawdust, and vomit.
Oh.
Because when you're in elementary school back in the day,
There were a lot of kids vomiting?
Yeah.
From what?
Well, getting sick, man. And then you know how they treated that? Well,
With
sawdust.
bleach.
No,
Oh.
no. Well, sawdust.
Yeah.
Soak it up.
Ew.
You never had that. Like you've never.
No.
Oh. Anybody that's watching out there, you know what I'm talking about. If you want, maybe it was just my school. Maybe it was just my school district.
So Stephanie said the smell of books was my favorite, which I love. Karina's comment made me laugh, and she said I was a big sniffer.
Okay. Okay.
Here's the deal. It was the smell of books. I mean, anything. It was the new school. It was like the smell of the new year. That's not a weird thing. A lot of people, 3 of us now.
Well, I get it. It does. The smell brings you back. I didn't enjoy the smell.
Yeah, that's okay.
I enjoyed seeing my teachers.
Oh,
and
like the
first
normal
day-
things.
Yeah. Now I
That's
look back.
fine.
It makes me want to. I'd probably get arrested, but if I'm curious now to go just to walk into my old elementary school and
Just to smell it.
just take a deep breath right before they slap the cuffs on me.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I
what
wouldn't
are you
recommend
doing?
that.
I'm smelling. Get out of here.
I do think, okay, now we're on this was not the tangent.
This
but,
is not our topic. No, but
I do think schools have a distinct smell.
Sure they do.
I don't know why I love that. It smells like learning.
it doesn't. I'm going to disagree. That smells like nothing like learning.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either.
That was a positive, though.
Have you tried to duplicate that smell in your house?
No, I think it's like all of the people that.
I asked that question
Yeah.
because we were just with some friends this last weekend, and they were proud of the fact that their house smells like a Westin hotel or something. Like they
Oh.
want their home to smell like
Yeah.
a Sheraton.
I don't know
Like
that
the
I'd want it
lobby.
to smell like a communal space.
Well, that's what they were, and it does. So much so that they even asked. Well, my wife asked the hotel what they were using to make it smell that way.
Oh, and what did they say?
They gave her the information, and then our friends ordered it in bulk or something. I
That's
don't know.
kinda cool.
Yeah, it was weird.
I do have a distinct memory from 4th grade, like everyone coming back from PE and thinking,
Okay.
wow, this smells bad. And then I realized
So-
that's the age that people learn about deodorant.
I didn't learn about deodorant in 4th grade.
Probably earlier.
No, I don't. I'll be honest. Might be gross. I don't. 7th grade, like when you get when you get to that age where you're like, maybe I want a girlfriend, or maybe
if you want a girlfriend, you definitely should know about
but
deodorant.
You're not. But when you're in 5th grade, you're not. That's not.
Maybe people weren't learning about it, but I remember being in elementary school and thinking, wow, it does not smell good in here.
One of my biggest memories growing up and before school would start, and I'm sure I don't know if it still happens today or not, but all of my friends have older siblings most of the time, or they have siblings, and so you would get your teacher assignment, and you'd be like, I don't want the mean teacher, and everyone knew who the mean teacher was of the little group, of teachers.
Did you get on the rotary dial and call your friends?
Did you just that's not a rotary?
I was kidding.
Okay. We didn't. No, we had passenger pigeons. I would write the thing down and tape it to.
Oh, that makes sense.
Schmib was my pigeon, and I'd let him go, and he'd fly, and then that was it. We also did message in the bottle.
Still waiting on some messages coming back.
Well, there's no water. We just throw them out in the street. It shattered. Nobody would return the call. We lived some really. Come to think of it,
we have really progressed.
Probably had some issues back then, but so everybody knew in Hayesville. Yeah. Oh, did you get the nice?
The good teacher or the mean teacher?
Well, we all knew who the mean teachers were at every level.
Yeah.
Now, when you get
everybody did.
When you get to 7th grade, we got to junior high. That was the first year that we had multiple teachers. You'd have a math teacher and a science teacher and all of that. So it was a little different. But when you had your homeroom teacher, kindergarten through 6th, we tried to avoid the mean teachers, and I did for the most part. But then you felt sorry.
Did you?
You're like, oh man, Scott got so and so. Oh,
yeah.
So sorry, Scott. Or whatever.
We lost a good one.
Yeah.
See you in 5th grade.
And those mean teachers, man, they lived up to their reputations.
Oh,
too.
they always do.
But that's okay. They were all great teachers. We were lucky to have really good teachers in my little bubble world of growing up.
Oh,
we had great teachers, I thought.
Did you have a favorite back to school? Was there something that you looked forward to? Maybe seeing your friends?
That was it. You wanted to see your buddies again. And so I really enjoyed that. That was the excitement of it. I always liked school. I wanted to go back to school.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the summer, but I never had any kind of issue of not wanting to go. So I enjoyed it.
Which is a great, right? That's such a blessing. Yeah. I always went back to school early, especially as I got older. So high school and college, I always went back early.
What do you mean by that? I was in an opportunity to do that? They offered you that? Or?
No, but I was in student government, and so we did a lot of planning meetings in the summer.
Okay.
And so we would also yesterday was the first day back for new students, and then students who were graduating to a new school. So I think middle school went back to their new school, and then freshmen went to their high school, I think is what ended up happening. But for high school, I would help plan that back to school day. And so we would do everybody went to all of their classes. It was a modified day. And then we also had a mock pep rally.
Okay.
And so that was, we were a part of that planning.
So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about today's a big day across Kansas. Kids are back in school. And so we're kind of talking about back to school memories. And if you have any that you'd like to share with us, we'd sure like to hear them. I know a lot of folks, where did you go to school and what were some of your memories? For me, everything changed in high school. It was a very different situation. You just talked about your high school. So for me, what my fondest memories were grade school, going back then and meeting the teachers. In high school, it became, football. It was morning football, 2 a day. There was a lot of athletics involved, and it was the school was less. I don't know. It was just different. Still great teachers in high school, but I do miss that. When you're really
that's
young.
Interesting.
And I still remember a lot of that. For my age, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer we're going to remember some of this stuff. So we like to
write it down. Not much.
We're putting it down on this podcast. So in 10 years, I can go, what was her name?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Julia.
No, not you. I'm going to remember you for more than 10 years. We're fine. So,
It's interesting because high school, I think, was like my really fun time, high school and
Really?
college. And I
Okay.
like that yours was like elementary and junior high.
Yeah. So
Junior high's never somebody's like best memories. So I think that's funny.
man, I liked it.
Yeah.
I did. It was one of the great things about being in 8th grade
Yeah.
when it's just you're the big dog.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
That was that 8th grade year is fantastic because you don't know what's coming. You know you're going to high school.
Yeah.
Well, some of us, and some of us didn't make it. But the 8th grade was great.
Yeah.
And you got on me the other day because I said, you remember you said, I said, well, yeah, we used to do sock hops.
Oh, yeah.
Well, right? If
got
anybody's watching
harassed
from
for that.
junior high, that's what they called them still then. The head of a sock hop,
The
which is like
reason I gave
it's
him
a
a-
school dance.
Yeah.
And I know that's such a 50s
That's
thing.
why I gave you a hard time
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you're like, they called it that. But you just seem so much younger than the age of going to sock hops.
Well, I can tell you, and this is a true story, when I was in 7th grade and you get to go to your first, because you're not doing that but I remember going to a sock hop in 7th grade and I really thought
You could
you
move.
took that you had to take your shoes off
Oh.
and wear your socks. And I'm assuming, if anybody's out there, maybe, and I was going to look it up, but I didn't. Maybe that's why that's why they called it that back in the 50s. But you don't want a bunch of junior high kids running around and oh gosh.
That brings us back
you
to
talk
the
about the smell.
smells.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
smell. Okay.
So Stephanie laughed at the rotary dial, which thank you. So she said, so somebody from KSN said, how did you pass notes in class? Messenger pigeon, message in a bottle. Stephanie said, fold it up and passed in a book. Karina said, when I was a kid, I loved school so much, I wanted to go to summer school.
That's cool.
Ooh,
All right.
folded in a triangle shape as well.
Kick it like a football.
Yeah, I did not pass a lot of notes because I was afraid.
Of getting caught.
Yeah, and being like the bad kid.
Nobody ever passed me any notes.
You probably got a lot of notes.
I didn't. I wanted notes.
Yeah.
Never got the notes.
I didn't.
Not a note guy.
I got like on the report card once, which I'm sure will surprise a lot of people. Talks often, and I like still think about that of like, oh my gosh, I did something bad, and now it's like, hey, you made a career out of talking.
There you go.
But I do remember of like I wanted to be the perfect student, and that's the perfectionism we talk about all the time.
I never got in trouble except one time. And I remember we had this system in junior high. They had a pink slip and a yellow slip. Now,
Okay.
pink slip's severe.
Yeah.
Yellow slip's kind of like, hey, it's a warning. We're on to you. Prided myself. Never got the slips. I did get one yellow slip one time. And I still remember it.
For
and
what?
it wasn't even my fault.
Yeah, isn't
I
that
was
funny? You remember it.
I was talking to another person,
Yeah.
child. I was a child.
You
We
were a child.
children,
They were a
couple
child.
of children chatting it
Yeah.
up, And 7th grade science class, hit with the yellow. Got a yellow. And the other thing I remember in grade school, a memory that sticks out, is I was in the band in elementary school. And we had a concert that day, and we were going to go play. Junior high. I was 7th grade. We were going to go to an elementary school and play a concert for the elementary school that was right down the road. Band director said, all you boys in ties.
Oh.
I showed up. I didn't have a tie.
Yeah.
And I remember the band director coming to me in the hallway and it's like, you can't go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I remember frantically trying to make a tie out of like something. And he's like, no. And I remember that I was very disappointed with that. That was a crushing blow because I didn't get, I wasn't that kind of kid. I mean, always, and that was really sad for me.
That is one where I think everybody listening and watching like is sad for like the baby Jeff Herndon.
Here's the irony.
Okay.
Like you said, you made a career out of talking.
Yeah. Now you have to wear a tie
I've spent
every
almost
day.
30 years wearing ties. So anyway, and he was a great guy, great band director. He just recently passed away a few years ago, and he was his wife was the music teacher in junior high, and they were great people. And I think she might still be alive, but he passed away. And when he passed away, and I read his obituary, that memory popped up.
Yeah.
And it was great.
Yeah.
So
It's I don't know. It's also the reminder of like kids are kids.
Uh-huh.
And like I don't know, just It's the reminder that you don't know what's going on with that kid or at their home or why they can't have a tie or why whatever. And so I don't know, you just want to love on these kids.
Yeah. And I was in that transitional period in public education where it was at the big start of you couldn't use a paddle on it. Like there was a time, and I bet the people that are watching this are older.
Yeah.
There was a time, and I know you know this. There was a time when a principal or a teacher would take a paddle to you. There was a paddle hanging up in the principal's office, and so I was in that transitional period. Mm-hmm. So they never used it on us, but I know like it was just 4 years earlier they were paddling kids. So it was that transition of punishment and what was appropriate for children in schools. And there's a lot of debate about that, well, they should still paddle them, and then we're not going to get into that, whatever,
That's tomorrow's topic.
But so and those teachers, like my band teacher, those educators grew up in that, they were teaching in that era. Mm-hmm. So their way of talking to children or teaching children, whether it was right or wrong, was a certain way because that's what they knew.
Oh, yeah.
You think about it. It's interesting when you think about that.
In 2016, I was working in Odessa, Texas, in a smaller town in Texas. I remember it was one of the first stories when I got there. They still had that rule. Okay. You could still paddle kids. There you go. And I remember just thinking, oh, that's interesting. But it's like very, it's West Texas. It's a small town. And so it was also part of like, oh, the teachers know the parents and know the grandparents. And so it was an interesting thing. Yep. Ryan Kraft said in high school, I remember the 20-minute morning break with friends outside between second and third period. I went to school with Ryan Kraft. Oh, that's awesome. We're the same age. That's so awesome. Yeah, we know all the same stories and all the same teachers. So he knows the main ones you were talking about. If I try to be cryptic, he's going to know what I'm saying, who I'm talking about. Stephanie said, what was your favorite subject? Mine? Yeah. Either of us. Well, or anybody else watching, comment. Let us know your favorite. Well, back then it was PE. Oh. They should have taught you about deodorant before 7th grade. Nah, they didn't. It was PE, and I don't, because that was the cool, man. I mean, that was like PE. It was recess and dodgeball, and dodgeball with some recess mixed in. It's pretty much all we did. We had a really lazy PE teacher, now I think about it. We didn't. I'm just kidding. I would say science was my favorite. Okay. And I would have wanted to be, we talked about Jim Lovell the other day because he passed away. I wanted to be an astronaut, but I couldn't do math. I was horrible at math. I obviously liked English. I feel like a huge portion of our job is writing. But I will say I hated PE. I took dance for my PE credit, but I also ran cross country. So part of the reason we'd go back early is because we were running. We're running in the summer. Grew up in Phoenix. It's 113 degrees. And so they take us up for cross country camp. We'd go up north so we could get like elevation training. And so it wasn't so hot. But I remember PE dance, you had to run the mile or whatever. And so I knew because I'd been training for weeks or months. Yeah. My time was going to be really good. But I knew I had to do the test again at the end of the year. And that was in the off season. So I knew I'm never going to beat my mile time in like peak season when I'm running really fast. So I'd purposefully go really slow on that first one so I could guarantee I would beat the mile time at the end of the year. You're smart. That's why you were like strategic. It was. That's really, really good. Yeah. I like that. It was good. That. Stephanie, also let us know what your favorite subject was. Yes. Corey said, do you ever get to go back to your hometown, Jeff? Yeah, I don't live too far from it. I don't live very far from Hayesville. I don't live in Hayesville. My hometown is Hayesville. Mm-hmm. I live 10 minutes from Hayesville. And I go back. Like, I'll drive through it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's in fact, I've been back to my elementary school a handful of times. Your
my son graduated. Well, all the kids, they all went through Hayesville schools. So so I was back there quite often and enjoy it. It's a good town. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Stephanie said, I wanted to go to space camp as a kid. LOL, Space Camp was my favorite movie. You need to see it. I will have to add that to my list. I did. I wanted to be an astronaut. Cool. Did we do any extracurricular activities? In high school, I did a lot. What'd you do? Well, there's all the sports, basketball, a little golf action. I played football, pretended to. And then I was also in a newspaper.
Okay.
So
That's
I covered,
cool.
I was in newspaper, and I did like quill and scroll
Oh,
type
yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
And it's been a while. I'm
Equestrian.
trying to. I did not do any of that. I'm trying to think. One thing I always wanted. We had this thing called Natural Helpers,
Okay.
and I always wanted to be in that group, and I never got.
You
I
are
never
a
got,
natural helper.
See, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And they just didn't listen to me. I said I'm very helpful.
What was the
Anyway.
thing that you got to do as a natural helper?
I don't know. I think is that my wife Stephanie? Commenting?
No. Karina asked the school.
Well, I think my wife was in Natural Helpers, but I had a lot of friends in Natural Helpers, and I wanted to be in. I don't know what you did.
because you didn't. Make
I
the
never got
cut.
to go. It's like some secret thing.
Yeah.
I never got invited to that. Yeah, I know. It was a big bummer.
That is a bummer. I did track, cross country. I did theater. I did Shakespeare. I did improv.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
You talk about what you said you want to go to space camp.
Yes.
That's the one thing I if I had any regrets, it's I wanted to be in theater. Like I wish I had been in theater. I wish
Yeah.
I had tried drama. They called it drama.
Yeah.
Is the class, and I didn't. And it's funny in high school because you really only have so much time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if between classes and extracurriculars, like you can't. There were a couple of there's a couple of kids that like did everything, and you're like, what is going on? They don't have any time to do anything.
Yeah.
But there was a couple. There was like a handful of these. I think it was you. You were one of those.
I was
where
one
you
of
just
them.
you're like, what? You're like as student government and drama and sports, and I just thought, man, I just don't. That's a lot of time. I can't do that.
I wanted to do, and I should have done it, speech and debate. We had like this
Yeah, I didn't do that
incredible
either.
speech and debate program that was like national award winning competitors, I guess. I mean, just incredible. And they all graduated to go do incredible things. Like they're all doing incredible things right now. And I wish I had done speech and debate, but I just didn't necessarily have the time.
Did you do drama the whole time? Like
Yes.
So
I did theater since junior high. And in junior high, which I give a lot of credit to, and a lot of credit to what I do now for work, in 7th grade, we had an improv team. You had to be in 7th grade to be on the improv team. And I made the improv team 7th and 8th grade. And then that teacher brought it to the high school. And so we had an improv team that you had to audition for every year. And it was based off like, whose line is it anyway? And it was called Whose Cue Is It Anyway? And I do look back and I'm like, that gave me so much.
Do you miss it? Like, is that something that you would, at some point in your life, serious question, that you might dabble in just as for fun? Or is it like, that's a chapter, I'm out and I'm moving on to do other things? Or do you miss that? Because it's like performance art.
Yes.
There is an addiction to it. You get addicted to the stage and to the, is that something like in the future you would do as for fun?
I would say absolutely not. However, here's an interesting thing. I feel like I found a career where it gives us that ability where
Gotcha.
Even today, you have breaking news and you did it where you called our photographer and you got the information and you ad-libbed. Now that's not in a funny way like like improv is, but it's improv, it's ad-libbing, it's all of those things. And in some ways, it is a performance art of, can I relay the information in the right time, describe the scene, maybe as I'm seeing it for the first time. And then you and I talk about it all the time. I think the getting to have this makes us wittier. And we came in today, and I know the days where I'm like, oh, I'm witty today. I've got it.
She walked in today. And that's like the first thing you told me. She goes, you ever had those days where you just got that wit? Like you just quick wit.
It was after I made a joke. And then we walked out of our meeting though, and you said, "Oh yeah, you are witty today." And I said, "Yeah." And it gives you that joy, because there are some days you're like, "Oh, the joke's not going to land," and then the days that they land, it's like an addiction of like,
Don't let us sit cat out of the bag that really this job is just a way for us to test our material. We're workshopping a tight 5 here for the amateur night down there at the Looney Bin Funny Bone or whatever they call it now.
But you did stand up later when you got older.
I wasn't that much older. I was in college.
Yeah.
But I should have. And it's funny you bring that up because in high school, or even in junior high, had I gotten into drama and or some sort of theater, I think it would have helped me. Of course, not think. I know it would have helped me immensely if I really wanted to pursue some sort of a stand-up career, because what I didn't have in stand-up was really anything. I didn't have good jokes, but I didn't have any stage presence because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'd never been on a stage before, aside from entertaining my friends at lunch hour, and that's like being on a stage, but no real training at all. And if I had a little bit of guidance, I'd be David Spade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd be on SNL.
But no, I mean, that was my dream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be on SNL. Everybody back then, it'd be great.
It is. I went in college. I had two friends. They were twins, and they did stand up at Arizona State, and they were incredible.
Wow.
But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, that's the real ingenuity. That's the real wit of like, there's a difference of like, I can get by.
Yeah.
Like I made the team, but I was a really good supporting cast member, and I had the jokes, but it's like, oh, the really good ones.
That was with me. I mean, it really is hard, and not is it just hard. It takes an immense amount of work off the stage and constant. And it's those stand-up comics that are really, really good. That's their life. It's 24/7, 7 days a week. And you have it, but you don't, I was an idiot. And you're like, I've been told I'm funny. I'll stand up on stage. And there's a lot more to it. I learned at a young age. Yeah. It didn't last long.
I did date a guy in high school, and he went to
how old were you?
I was in high school.
Okay.
Oh, no. I was in high school. He went to the...
Just checking, Julie. I got to make sure.
I'm moving on. He went to a private school across town.
Okay.
And so me and a girlfriend were both dating somebody from that group. And one of the guys in the group said, oh, yeah, my sister's into comedy. She's practicing at the Growlings, or she's training at the Growlings. And I thought, wow. And, I was in high school, so I kind of wrote it off. It was Amy Bryant. That was his sister.
Wow.
And I didn't date Amy Bryant's brother, but I knew I was dating the friend of that.
But you could have been, you might have been a connection there. You might have been, if you had just...
We didn't date long.
Gotcha. He wasn't very funny.
He wasn't funny, exactly. Okay, Karina was a baton twirler as a kid. Then I did volleyball and cheer in junior high, marching band, and show choir in high school.
Busy.
Marissa was in show choir and theater. Mary said band, newspaper, and yearbook. I know Mary, and so that makes a lot of sense for Mary. And I'm surprised photography is not in there. Somebody at KSN said, Julia really does make the best jokes. I don't control the salaries,
Who said that?
But thank you very much. Jeff is funny, too.
They don't even, and whoever said that at KSN's unnamed.
And they also don't know that I don't control the salaries.
I'm going to try harder. Yeah.
Were you guys good at doing your homework? Yes.
I don't. This is gonna. I'll tell you what. It might be a Hayesville thing. I didn't really have a lot of homework.
Oh.
And back then, I can tell you that it wasn't really a focus of my education with my teachers. Like, I don't remember a lot of homework. I'm sure there was homework, but it wasn't. In high school, yes, you had a research paper, for English, or you had to, there was things that you had to go and all of that, but it wasn't until I got into like maybe my junior year where you would start to get maybe some homework. Yeah. But I was very efficient. So I would try to get things done when they were assigned, as opposed to a lot of my friends that would be like, "Wow, man, you got 2 days. Come play ping pong."
Yeah. Go to the roller rink.
We're going to play kick the can out here. You got to get in. Because that's the era.
Oh, yeah. It was
kick
sock
the
hops.
can era.
I believe it. Sock hops.
Ball in the cup. We're all playing ball in the cup.
I wanted to be in like the advanced classes.
Really?
I wanted to so bad. And I went to a school where it was it was a public school, but
You were in advanced classes, though.
I was in like a few, because finally my senior year, I convinced my mom to let me be in like advanced. I wasn't ever allowed to do AP, but I was in like advanced, like econ, or I was in, whatever. And part of it, though, she said she had 2 different reasons. She said, one, you don't need to be in advanced classes. They don't give you any benefit. And then if you don't do well in the class, it hurts your GPA. So she said, you don't need to be in advanced classes. There's very little benefit.
Wow, again, strategic. I like that.
Yeah, and I was still getting college credit for some of those classes. And then she also said, you were in so many extracurricular activities that will help you more than being in the advanced classes.
Okay.
And I agree with that now, but like I was the kid that like I wanted to do the homework.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, I know.
And that's good for what you do now, because a lot of what we do is things off work hours.
Yeah.
Meaning, where we're researching something when we're not sitting in our cube.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
This is interesting. Lucy said, my dad and mom wouldn't let me or any of my siblings do anything after school due to working on the farm.
Okay. I had some friends that had similar situations. They would actually miss school, if there was something going on at the farm or helping out with harvest or whatever it might be.
Yes.
Yeah. We had that as well.
I feel like that's very common, especially for this area. So, Lucy, I'm sure you were not alone.
Yeah.
Karina said, I took advantage of advanced classes to feel smart. Did not do well. I get that. That's actually really funny. Did you have a favorite after-school activity or snack?
Activity or snack?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. In grade school, it was coming home, and if we weren't, it was playing with I had a friend live right across the street, or I would watch WGN and the Cubs.
Oh, wow.
That's because we got 4 channels.
Yeah.
WGN was one.
Wow.
So, and I watched a lot of PBS when I was a kid. I watched a lot. My mother was a painter. And so we didn't have cable or anything, but we had PBS or KPTS. I watched a lot of Bob Ross.
Yeah.
A lot of painting.
Big Bob Ross fan.
Big BR fan. Love the bobbers.
Love the BR.
Big old Rossers.
Yeah.
Mr. Ross. Bob Ross.
We could not have any sugar cereal.
Okay.
Or any, I say sugar cereal. We couldn't have any, sweets like that. So after school snack of, nothing comes to memory because it was all bland.
You know what I did?
What?
I would make mashed potatoes, but I'd make them from the box with the flakes. They're like the potato flakes.
Yeah.
We'd do that, and then I would also make pancakes. That was my after-school stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Huh.
I don't know why. Just make a big bowl of potatoes.
That's
That's
interesting.
really all we had. So, or that's all we had that I was able to make on my own without supervision. And then you put a bunch of butter in there, a little pepper.
Yeah, I do remember that was the thing of if I wanted to use the oven or not the oven, we couldn't use the oven.
Right.
But if I wanted to use the microwave, at one point I had to call. That was a thing.
I don't think we had a microwave at that point.
Maybe it wasn't it was definitely, if we wanted to use the appliances, we had to call. That was if I was home alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do a lot of butter churning. We churn our own butter.
I believe that.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Right after you kick the can.
And ball in the cup.
And ball in the cup.
We had to improvise with stuff back then.
We did do a lot of biking. We would ride our bikes. We'd play with chalk. We did all of those things and we knew it was the same thing of when the streetlights came on, you knew you had to go home.
Yes.
And so those were all things of you're making the jokes about the kick the can and whatever. And I feel like we did have those memories of I'm still in that weird middle age bracket of we didn't have tablets. We didn't have cell phones. We were outside and you knew, do not come inside, especially in the summer, and tell mom that you're bored. Because if you go inside and tell mom you're bored, she'll make you pull weeds. Of you were not allowed to be bored. Of what a blessing to have all of these things. Go play.
I didn't watch a lot of TV either.
Yeah.
Just because
we didn't.
No.
Yeah.
Always outside. Always playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. School was, what a great time. I don't know what it's like now, though. Within this digital age. I mean, my son is he's in college. So, but 12 years ago, it wasn't quite what it is now, or 15 years ago, because he's 19. So it was still similar in Hayesville a little bit. I can't imagine what it's like now in this digital age, going back to school and all of the technology. We did a story today about USD 2.5, Wichita Public Schools implementing for the first time artificial intelligence policies, and there's been a story recently in the last week that we've done in the last week about children and students using technology to cheat and using and that's been around for a while. We had to cheat the old-fashioned way.
Oh, writing it really small.
We're just
yeah.
But now I can't even fathom what that's like, and how our educators are navigating that. It must be. I'm sure they have strategy. I'm sure people a lot smarter than myself have thought about this for quite some time, and that they are doing what they can to navigate that situation.
And something else interesting that I learned this week, 259, Wichita Public Schools gives students laptops or technology in kindergarten. They get their own, and that was something that I was
think about that.
So surprised.
So it is a different world, but that's okay. It's everything's changing, and you have to. Like I said on this podcast many weeks ago, I talked to a woman at a rest home years ago for a story. I said retirement home, but that shows my age. That's what we used to call them. And she, I was like, "What's
the rest home right now?"
I know. Like, what's the secret to longevity? What's the secret to a long, happy life? And she just had the quick answer of learn to accept change.
Yeah.
And at the time, like, come on. Fine, whatever. It wasn't like that, but
it tells you were too young to like realize
I did not
it in the
understand
moment.
that, but yes, that is a very key component of living long and trying to be happy is learning to accept change. And if you just spend your entire life, dwelling on things that are different than what they were when you were a certain age, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah,
you're going to just be beating your head against the wall the whole time. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie said, did either of you ride the bus? I rode the bus.
Rode it briefly 1 year in seventh grade.
Yeah, I rode it in junior high as well.
Yeah, and it was just a year of change for me in my life with moving to an area that wasn't close to. It was a lot of turmoil in my family life when I was that age, and so I remember riding the bus. I didn't like it. I was very. It was upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good. That's not a good memory. I associated riding the bus to school with a lot of just some rough times as a kid.
I also did not like riding the bus, which is an interesting thing. I don't know that anybody likes riding the bus. In high school, I actually lived across the street from my high school. I hopped the fence every day to class to get to school, and we had a tall fence. And then I remember hopping the fence to school dances in my dress and my heels. And I remember for graduation, I said, I got to hop it one last time. And so I hopped the fence to graduation, and I walked across the street.
That's why you hopped the fence out of the parking lot here to get into work.
That's why.
I always thought that was really strange and odd. And I was about to talk to HR, but now I know there's a purpose behind it. That's what?
Nostalgic. Trish said, adapt and grow.
Yep. Yeah, adapt and grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I think Hayesville, I don't know if Hayesville went back yet. I should know that, shouldn't I? But ever since my son graduated and is out of the district, I don't know when Hayesville Public. I was talking to my wife this morning. Back when I went to school, Hayesville and all of the little rural areas around Wichita would go back to school before Wichita Public Schools used to start after Labor Day. I mean, this is going way back.
Yeah, that's late though.
And now, and I'm sure everything's changed with educational requirements and days and all of this stuff. Now, I believe Wichita Public Schools they started today before some of the other districts in the area, like Hayesville, for example. Now, maybe it started today. I should know. I don't. But I don't think I heard that it started today, so I don't know. I'm not in the end. I'm out of the loop, man, because I don't get the emails anymore. The kid's not part of the district.
Which is kind of fun to say you're just in a different era. But we talked a couple weeks ago, you moved Lakin up to school, so...
You're in a different era.
You are. You're in a different stage of life where you don't have kids in elementary school.
I like how you use stage of life.
Stage of life in the rest home.
Different era. That's okay. I know.
It is, though.
And then today, you guys, I love it. A question for you on KSM News at 4.
We did not come up with that, though. That was
KSM
not
News
us.
at 4. We do a question for you at 4 o'clock every day on the old telecast there. And
the Teletube?
And it was... What activities do you enjoy as you get older? And you both looked at me and you're like, well...
What do you enjoy?
You like your knitting, your little croquet?
First of all, we did not do that.
Excuse me, it's crochet. It's not... I mean, croquet is also something you would enjoy.
You did say birding at one point, which then
that's true. I do like that.
I made a joke and I thought, I hope people know that's a joke, which was the same with the rotary dial, but your wife laughed at the rotary dial, so I said we're good.
It's not a joke, though. Like birding, when I said that, I mean, like, I'm talking like I'm not like all in on the birding.
I made a joke.
Oh. I'm all got excited to talk about birding for a minute.
I
thought we were gonna talk about birding.
We are not.
Okay. We just lost half our viewers. So yeah, no, I do enjoy that, but hey, it's okay. I got the big 5-0 coming up. I'm excited.
I know. We are excited for you to enter that new era.
Yep. That new decade of decadence.
It is a new decade.
Yeah.
50 is a new decade.
5-0.
5-0.
We'll do a special. We'll do a podcast on the 5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll wheel in here and
We'll wheel you in here. Get you. Trish said Goddard started Monday. Also, Hayesville started today and yesterday, depending on the grade.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is good. So yeah, a lot of people.
Now it's all the same time though, which is strange. It was not that way when I went back when we were going back to school.
That's interesting. It was not the same time.
It's not the same time.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah.
But I just feel happy. We've got some folks that work at KSN, and one in particular, and her son had his first day of kindergarten yesterday, and she took the day off, which is great, because you should always take the day off for that kind of moment. And they have the wonderful experience of walking in. And the tears are
crying
shed
in the
and
parking
crying
lot.
in the parking lot, and it does bring back some really good memories. And I don't know,
It was funny,
cool
though,
deal.
because so many of us, she posted pictures online, and we all came in today. We all asked her how it was. And all of us said, oh, my gosh, he's so old. Because we all remember, when he was born and all of those things. So it's fun because then everybody at work is excited for his first day. And I don't know. I'm sure that's the case for everybody, right?
Yeah.
If they're hopefully, I think, blessed enough that they have work people that are excited for their kids.
Well, thank you guys for sharing your thoughts and with us on this back to school Thursday. We're gonna be back on Tuesday, because we do this Tuesday through Thursday, and we'll probably do another 45 next week. Hopefully, we got some really cool stuff to talk about, and we really enjoy building this podcast and building it with you.
Getting to laugh with you
and and have a conversation. We enjoy it. And again, I want to reiterate, you could find this podcast on KSN Plus. That's our new streaming app for your Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. And it's not a phone app, because I know it's kind of confusing. Some people think when you hear app, well, now television, TV have apps. Sound 50. Yeah. So you can
50-year-olds are saying, don't give us a bad name.
You can. I know. They're like, hey, we're putting you up into the 80s. You're going to leapfrog.
An 80-year-old
is
saying,
like, no, we don't want him. We don't want him. So anyway, you can find out how to download it on our website at ksn.com. Now, here's the thing, though, Julie, about the KSN Plus. We get a lot of questions about this. You're not hearing a lot about it on KSN. If you watch our program, the broadcast side of things, you're not seeing anything about it right now, but you're going to start seeing more about it. So folks that watch our podcast are going to kind of have a beat up on, like they're going to know what we're talking about. And this is a way to get in before other people get in. But there's a lot of content on there, a lot of unique content. We're always trying to produce new content that is exclusive to KSN Plus. Oh, by the way, it's free. It's free to download. I should mention that too. And then you can find all of our podcasts on there, and you can find replays of KSN News. If you missed something, I think it's a lot easier. Like you say, I wanted to see some information about that thing that happened on Tuesday. I think it's easier on KSN Plus to navigate that than it is to go on our YouTube page and or our website even, although our website is pretty user-friendly. It's also easy to search that stuff on KSN Plus. It's all right there laid out. And those of you that have streaming services and stuff, you know what I'm talking about.
And then also people who are maybe watching on the platforms or watching on YouTube later, watching to see how do I interact. We are also live on Facebook when we go live for this as well. So comment. I think that's probably our favorite part as well, getting to feel like we're talking to everybody and talking to everybody in real time as well.
So have a great weekend. We're going to be back on Tuesday, and we're going to talk about what we did this weekend. And I already know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing, and we'll discuss it.
Let us know what you're doing, too.
Yes. All right. See you.